Hello there, kia ora, I'm Paul, and welcome to this week's The News. This week, Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, seen here showing the time period he wants to see New Zealand emulate, celebrated an increase in pension rates, calling it a new cost of living support payment for senior citizens. The support payment is actually a legislated annual increase of 3% that occurs every year, and not just because the Prime Minister said so, and it will equate to an average increase of $35 per week for pensioners. Last year, pensioners saw an average median rent increase of 3.2%, food price increase of 1.5%, and in April this year, power companies will be increasing their prices by $10 a month for infrastructure costs, while continuing to rise the price of power every year until 2030. And price increases over the last 12 months has seen the price of power go up between 5 and 15%, as well as increased costs for medical care, which is often more accessed and needed by senior citizens. So this minimal increase will, I'm sure, help in some way. Thank God the Prime Minister let it happen, just like the law states. On Monday, the government announced new plans to replace the Resource Management Act, which will omit any mention of the country's first land contract, the Treaty of Waitangi. Māori Development Minister Tama Pōtaka, seen here trying to work out his McDonald's drive-through order at the box despite having been in line for 10 minutes, claimed he was not aware of the omission, despite signing off on the proposed changes. Said Pōtaka, "Oh, look, something shiny." As the cost of living crisis worsens, Deputy Prime Minister and New Zealand First Tanya Unkovic accepted a petition from turf group Speak Up for Women to legally define only two genders in legislation. The organisation, which spreads anti-trans rhetoric, disinformation about puberty blockers, vilifying the rainbow community and demanding punitive actions against the minority of less than 1% of the population that are trans people in amateur sport, handed over the petition to the pair while they quickly hid their tinfoil hats for a photo op and took a break from ignoring the long history of trans people existing. Scientists and psychologists who all have a better understanding of the lives trans people have and the persecution they face from people politicizing their existence for votes. In the United States, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, seen here adding the Borg to a Federation group chat before the Battle of Wolf 359, has accidentally sent detailed war plans to the editor of The Atlantic. And since Winston Peters does everything the Trump administration does, but shittier, he sent a group text to New Zealand media with his war plans to win votes at the next election. New data out from MSD show the planned rollout of new money management cards for beneficiaries will leave some of them unable to pay rent. The cards are only to be used in specific locations, which do not include rental agencies or direct payments to landlords, and would contain half a benefit payment on them. But the average beneficiary's rent is now 53% of the benefit. Said Louise Upston, Minister for Social Development, seen here with all the beneficiaries she's helped find gainful employment. Everyone knows safety nets are only sometimes effective, so we decided that there was no point in making sure our social safety nets actually caught everyone. But this will help landlords who'll soon have their pick of new tenants to choose from, take the bond from, and then kick them out when they don't pay their rent. A malicious attack aimed at Te Whatu Ora in October has been revealed, along with acknowledgement that private information about staff in the Lower North Island was taken as part of the attack. Said Health Minister Simeon Brown, seen here trying to take a photo and not realising he has the selfie camera on. Phew, it's a good thing we don't have plans to cull Health New Zealand's IT budget. How stupid would that be? Golden Bay Dr. Bruce Dooley, seen here disappointing that you trust scientists when it comes to science, has been named as the doctor who has been charged with supplying ivermectin he had stockpiled and distributed and encouraged people to have Omicron parties. The Health Practitioners Disciplinary Tribunal heard Dooley supplied between 62 and 250 people with self-styled ivermectin kits, although definite numbers are impossible to know since he didn't keep records. The tribunal felt his conduct amounted to professional misconduct. Said a spokesperson for the tribunal, "It's ironic that he was supplying people with a horse paste for parasites, because he's a parasite who was brought down by horse paste." A 6.8 magnitude earthquake in the South Island felt all over the Motu caused a small tsunami for about 90 minutes that was registered at the Paisaga Point measuring station. Due to the remote area, very little damage was caused directly by the 10-centimetre waves. Said a spokesperson for Men Everywhere, "Oh, that's totally bigger than 10 centimetres. It's at least 20. Well, that's what my partner tells me." Wellington train services were ground to a halt on Thursday morning twice after major signal outage issues leading to increased traffic on the capital's roads. Said Transport Minister Chris Bishop, seen here with a toxic algae bloom that's impacting our fisheries sector, Just because this shows how fragile infrastructure is for public transport and how it can impact other forms of transport and why we might need to invest in it, the answer is still roads. All roads, nothing but roads. Apple Maps has rolled out a new feature that allows users to now search for Māori place names, iwi and marae. A number of iwi up and down the motu have been working on the project to identify areas of cultural significance and ensure consistency on information. Said a spokesperson for Apple, "It's an exciting new feature and we know all of our user of Apple Maps will love it." New Zealand-born character actor, two-time Tony Award and one-time Golden Globe nominee Clive Revill has passed away at the age of 94 in Los Angeles. His credits included the lead in the original Legend of Hell House, the Transformers movie, Billy Wilder's Avanti, The Snorks, Tiny Toon Adventures, Star Trek The Next Generation, Batman the Animated Series, and Babylon 5. So expect obituaries to start off with, "Man who voiced two lines as the original Emperor Palpatine in Empire Strikes Back has passed away." Finance Minister Nicola Willis, seen here trying to do the Macarena, is set to announce government plans to encourage a third supermarket competitor to enter the Aotearoa New Zealand market this weekend. Cabinet signed off on the plan last week and leaked documents reveal it is cunning in its simplicity. She's emailed Australia's Aldi customer service page and said, "Please, we'd love to have you here." The Long-Term Health New Zealand review that's just been released has shown that death rates over the past decade have doubled amongst patients who self-discharge from an emergency department, and that access to prompt and appropriate primary and hospital health care has deteriorated markedly. But that the second issue isn't solely the cause of the first. The report identifies issues within the health sector around fall injuries, staph infections, and an increase in wait time for first specialist appointments that added to the issues. Said a spokesperson for Te Whatu Ora, "This report was commissioned by Lester Levy, and we're very, very disappointed naturally that it doesn't tell us how much Milo our team of health professionals need." A new poll by Talbot Mills shows a 14-point political approval rating for the presidency of Donald Trump by New Zealand men under the age of 40, the only demographic that saw his presidency policies as positive. The same poll also showed those most in support of Trump here in Aotearoa were likely to be ACT or New Zealand First voters. And while the alt-right in New Zealand are already crowing about these results, a spokesperson for the polling company said, "We are as shocked as you that parties that involve convicted child sex offenders, vilify trans people, push racist rhetoric, and cry about DEI and woke would attract people who think the man who's tanking the US economy and started a tariff war and has staff send classified documents in chat groups would be the best person to run things here." A new report from Acumen Edelman, known as the Trust Barometer, shows that 67% of New Zealanders express a sense of distrust and grievance with business, media, the government, and NGOs, now surpassing the global average. Said a spokesperson for the government, "I don't understand why people don't trust us. It's not like we did rushed things under urgency at record levels or shortened select committee times on bills we didn't want feedback on, caved to groups peddling conspiracies, or racism, made laws that make people concerned, like getting rid of smoke-free legislation or making it easy to get automatic weapons, or treated people on benefits like something that we found on the soles of our shoes, while dismantling and vilifying the unique partnership that founded this country." A spokesperson for the media was asked for comment, but they were too busy vilifying female MPs with diverse backgrounds. April 1st sees a raft of changes kick in for benefits and low-wage earners. Job seeker support is increasing 2.22%, meaning a sole parent will see a whole $9 extra in their account. As new power prices also kick in on the same day, seeing power for an average house go up at least $10 a month. The minimum wage is also going up 1.5% to $23.50 an hour, an increase lower than the rate of inflation. Student loan repayments will also be going up as the repayment threshold has been frozen instead of adjusted for inflation as is usual. But don't worry, new visa categories also open on April 1st for multi-millionaire investment in return for a week-long holiday in the country every year. Said Prime Minister, seen here trying to teach Cabinet how to play Gotcha Knows, "This year we're celebrating April Fool's Day the only way we know how, by making life harder for poor people." And I know I find it funny. And finally, two Waitaha geckos living on a predator-free island near Canterbury are thought to be the world's oldest living geckos. Their estimated age is between 60 and 64, and this is based on work marking and tracking the pair done in 1967 by herpetologist Tony Whitaker. The lizards, named Antoinette and Brucey Baby, are now 6 times older than the average lifespan for a gecko. A spokesperson for DOC said it was a truly humbling experience to find the pair. It's not often you can meet lizards this old who don't run New Zealand first. And that is this week's The News. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for checking out today's video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe so you get more updates as we go along. We deal with these guys for the rest of the year.